Hi, my name is Heather. Welcome to Strings and Threads. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and checking out this channel. I hope you find content you like. If you like what you see, I encourage you to subscribe. It really helps the channel out. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking with me and sticking through all the craziness. Before we start, I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts today. I have to show you guys. Nothing fancy, but just a dragon hoarding yarn. It says, I need more yarn. I love dragons, so it was perfect. Also, before I get started with Giving Sunday, I wanted to do a reminder that I'm doing a live tonight for my members only. Once a month, I'm going to be doing lives with my members, and we're going to either do live video tutorial. Last time we did it, we did the dishcloth, the slipper dishcloth pattern as a live. We did the tutorial. And tonight we're going to do some crochet stitches that you might want to use in a blanket or a dishcloth or whatever you want. And so each month I'm planning on doing one live where we're learning something, learning a stitch, learning a pattern. So if you're interested in that, it's $2.99 a month, and there's a link for that in my description. Today is Giving Sunday, and I've been doing this for quite a while now. And what we're doing is just figuring out ways that we can use our talents to give back to the world. So I've made a commitment up through the end of February to give hats to two different organizations, and one is the Salvation Army of Bridgeton, New Jersey. They are collecting only through the end of February, and then they're going to change gears, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Salvation Armies are all around. I don't live in Bridgeton, New Jersey, but the reason why I chose that is because Annie from Annie's Crafts and Laughs, she put out a plea. They had a small Salvation Army that they were trying to get up and running and up and doing things for themselves. And they have done a really good job of, asking for help, but they're asking for help to get started so they can do things themselves. They've started knitting and crocheting classes. So I've donated some yarn, and I know that some of you have generously donated a lot of yarn to her so that their crochet classes can have enough to get started. And they're doing that so that they can, from here on out, make their own hats and their own scarves and their own whatever else they need. And I'm really proud of them for that. This wasn't just, give to me, and then when we need the next thing, give. She wanted to make them self-sustaining. And so that's awesome. I think they are just about there with the hat and scarves. They have a little group going that know how to do it, and they're going to be making them from now on. So I'm just going to be giving to them through the end of the month, and that's all that she's collecting them for. She's been calling it Hope for Hats. And now they're switching gears. They're going to be doing a craft show in the summer, I think July. I think they're calling it Christmas in July. And so they're asking for handcrafted items that could sell at a craft show. So after this month of hats, that's what they are going to start collecting. They're going to start collecting crafts. So she changed it from Hope for Hats to Hope for Crafts. So if you're interested in that, I have the information in my description. I have a link to her plea for the hats. I have her Annie's channel in there, and I also have the new video about how they're going to switch gears at the end of the month and move to Hope for Crafts. And the other organization, which is one I've been giving to for a while, is the American Starfish. They started off by needing washcloths for their washing stations, and then they moved on to hats for the colder months. And so I'm going to be giving whatever hats I make, I'm going to be dividing between the Salvation Army and the American Starfish for this month. And for next month, now I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. I was going to look up some local because I was hoping to get a break from shipping. But I had this week, when you do segments like this, people are like, oh, I know the perfect thing. So I've been made aware of other organizations that are really in need. I've heard about this for a few times. I think I've even seen videos on YouTube about it, but I know that I've had several people suggest the soap sacks. And I think they just where you make like a little sack that you can put a piece of soap in, and then the homeless will use it to clean themselves. So I've seen that out there, but it was brought to my attention again that that might be a good place to give to. So I put information about that in my description. And there was also chaos blankets, which I wasn't really all that aware of, but chaos blankets are little blankets. They're not big. They're little ones that you would give to a pet in a shelter. And I think the idea is that they have the blanket in the shelter and they have their scent on it and everything. And then when the dog goes to its new home, it takes the blanket with it, and it has something that's comforting that has its own smell on it. So it's supposed to really help the animals out. And you can give those to animal shelters, but I have a video in my description describing it, and it helps you get started should that be something that you would be interested in doing. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. There's a lot of great ideas out there, and I know I'm not going to be able to do all of them. So I have to figure out what's going to be right for me, but I'm going to bring awareness because people have brought it to my attention. And then Allie from Allie's Artifacts, I have her listed in my description and her video in my description as well. She was letting me know that she's doing something called Tabitha's Table, which they are in need of actually hundreds of hats and scarves. It's a little bit overwhelming. Somebody had talked to her about it, and she said there's no way that she could do them all herself. So she was reaching out, and she tagged me because she knows that I do the Giving Sunday. So if anybody was interested in continuing with hats and also making scarves, Tabitha's Table would be a great place to check out. I have the information in my description, so you can check that out for yourself. So now there certainly are a lot of options out there. I am still going to check locally where I am to see if there's anything that I can do locally, and I can let you know what I decide. But what I wanted to do was show, I only made one hat this week. I know I haven't been making a ton. I have a lot going on right now, and a proud mama moment. My son Roman, he's on the high school bowling team, and he qualified for districts. So we're going to go see him on Thursday, but we've been busy with that and my other son's activities. Nobody drives yet. Roman will be 16 in a couple months, so I'm hoping that we can have another driver sometime soon. But anyway, I don't remember what this was. It's like a Caron, a big one. And I used the Love Lines pattern again. I think that's like starting to become my favorite hat tutorial. And I have it in my playlist of hat tutorials, which I have in my description. So if you're interested in this hat or any of my other hat designs, they're all free. They're all video tutorials that you can check out and try for yourself. But I do like to make, Annie mentioned it in her videos, I do like to make the hats long so that they cover your ears all the way, especially if it's for somebody who's out on the streets a lot, because your ears can still get cold. And if for some reason you didn't want your ears covered, you can still roll it up. But for me personally, I like having my ears covered. And I would think that somebody who was spending a lot of time outside in the cold would probably also appreciate that. So I believe that's everything for today. Thank you again for watching and watching all the way to the end. You guys are amazing. I appreciate your friendship so much. YouTube has brought so much good into my life, and I've met so many people that I couldn't imagine not being in my life. So have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.